Tonight, Troy's students continue a Civil War forum.
Plus, what are your plans for Valentine's Day? Stay tuned. TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
Mission Digital Production Center on the Troy campus with news from Troy University locations around the world. This is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for February 14th, 2012. I'm Judson Garner.
And I'm Bailey Majors. Thank you for joining us this evening. While most of the country's minds are on Cupid's arrow today, last night Troy University students were thinking more about rifle fire on the battlefield. Deatra Montgomery takes a look at last night's Civil War forum.
Making Sense of America's Civil War is a 5-part series held by the Library Association to help us look differently at the aspects and circumstances of this historical event.
We are here tonight having our second in a 5-part series, a book and discussion on the American Civil War. This is part of a grant that we received from the National Endowment for the Humanities and the American Library Association. The title of the series is Let's Talk About It, Making Sense of the American Civil War. And it's not a history program, it's a humanities program. We're actually looking at the different situations that our ancestors faced in dealing with the questions, and tonight's issue was choosing sides.
The organizers feel through reenactments and costumes that people will get a better understanding of the war rather than just from a textbook.
Trying to get back into an 1860, 1861 mindset of seeing exactly what information they had, and from the information they were given, how they made the decisions they did.
Being open to the public, it gave everyone a chance to see and discuss different viewpoints of the Civil War.
This event allows a discussion from a totally different viewpoint. Most of the time we deal with basic facts. You know dates, you know names, you know people who were involved in the Civil War. You realize that all these people in history books are real people just like us. They had to deal with what they knew at the time. They didn't have all the answers. It's easy for us to look back in retrospect and say, well, I wouldn't have done that. You can't say that. You weren't in that situation.
Deatra Montgomery, Troy TrojanVision News.
The next Civil War forum is scheduled for March 5th in the Hall of Honor.
Well, today is Valentine's Day, and love is in the air all over Troy's campus as sweethearts are surprising each other with something special. Or someone could just be showing someone they care about them for the first time. Whatever the case may be, Brittany Harris hit the campus today to find out what students had planned on this day of love.
Love is in the air on Troy University's campus as some students celebrate Valentine's Day.
I'm actually just going to be having a nice evening with my roommates. All of us are currently single at this time, and so a lot of people call it Valentine's Day. I like to think of it as Singles Awareness Day.
With the roses, I'm passing them out to all the ladies that doesn't have a Valentine.
Today, me and my sister are going out to eat.
I'm waiting to see if anybody's going to surprise me with anything, but I know tonight I'm going to my friend's Valentine's Day party.
I'm working, going to school and going to work.
With this being such a memorable day, some students reminisced on their first Valentine.
I remember my first Valentine's. It was in 7th grade, and I had a girlfriend, whether it was 7th grade girlfriend, whatever. But we went to see a movie, Valentine's, and she actually broke up with me that day. So maybe that was where I got my bad taste of Valentine's Day from.
My first Valentine was 6th grade. By my first boyfriend, and he brought me candy and teddy bear.
My first Valentine was a lady by the name of Ashley Hall. I got her a bunch of stuff and she left me as soon as I got it for her, but it was all right.
But even with all the love surrounding this holiday, some students have negative thoughts towards this day.
I think it's kind of a fake, made-up holiday. I think that the culture puts too much emphasis on spending a lot of money and buying, whether it's flowers or candy for your girlfriend or boyfriend, and so I think it's kind of an overhyped holiday.
Brittany Harris, Troy TrojanVision News.
Valentine's Day was first established in 496 AD, honoring one or more early Christian martyrs named Valentinus, and originally it had nothing to do with love at all. Well, Bailey, even though people that might not have someone special on this holiday deserve a little love.
That's right, Judson, and Campus Dining Services decided to give all Troy students a Valentine's treat that each student could call their own. Danielle Wallace has the sweet details.
Students satisfied their sweet tooth in a very creative way for Valentine's Day. The Troy Dining Hall gave students the chance to decorate their own cookies with sprinkles topped off with different flavors of icing.
Made 2 chocolate chip cookies, one of them with the chocolate icing, one of them with the strawberry icing, or cherry icing, the red icing. And I'm really excited because I'm a big chocolate chip cookie fan. And the topping looks really good. They also have sprinkles and 3 different types of icing, so I'm really excited.
Most students thought it was a fun way to get into the Valentine's spirit. The dining hall has had previous cookie decorating, but this one gained more recognition because of the new facility.
I just decorated the cookie with like pink frosting and white frosting, I guess because it really goes with the Valentine theme. And then I just put a couple sprinkles on top to just give it something extra or whatever. And I think it was just a little fun little activity to do. Just decorating cookies. Who doesn't like decorating cookies?
I just got my cookie and put some red frosting on it because it's Valentine's Day and it matches my dress. And some sprinkles because it was cute and I thought this was a really good idea. Kind of get students involved and everything. So I liked it.
In addition to cookie decorating, there were also other Valentine-themed treats such as cupcakes and cake to enjoy. Danielle Wallace, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The cookies should be available for the decoration for the rest of the business day in the dining hall.
And now taking a look at news from around the state, attorneys are questioning potential jurors for a second day in the capital murder trial of an Alabama man accused of drowning his newlywed wife during their Australian honeymoon. The questioning was conducted behind closed doors as jury selection resumed today in Birmingham, the capital murder trial of 34-year-old Gabe Watson.
Authorities on the Alabama coast are investigating the death of a 2-year-old girl who died after being severely burned. Authorities tell WALA-TV that Kennedy Forrest suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns over 70% of her body. Mobile County prosecutors say the burns were the result of the little girl being put in a tub of scalding bathwater.
A Houston County Sheriff's deputy has been placed on paid administration leave as authorities continue to investigate the death of 43-year-old Georgia man who was handcuffed following a bar fight in Dothan. The Dothan police said in a statement that a deputy used a taser on the man at least twice after he continued to be combative.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, a former Trojan football player is already seeing success at the next level. Danielle Percival will be in with all the details on that story next in sports.
But first, China's soon-to-be president is meeting our president. We'll have more on that after the break.
The White House welcomes China's future leader, but will the visit improve U.S.-China relations? I'm Danielle Nottingham. I'll have the story coming up.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
If you can learn one thing in life, especially if you go into business, it's how to communicate and how to work with others. And I do think Troy taught me that.
Troy reaches out to people who they see their commitment to public service.
Troy just attracts students that want to give back to the community, that want to give back all across the world.
We want to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, the body to act. We want to enable our students to go out into this world and make a difference.
Troy University, in class, online, within reach. Troy.edu.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Judson Garner at the Global News Desk. Judson?
Thanks, Bailey. Rick Santorum's momentum is putting him in the leader's seat in the latest CBS News New York Times poll. This comes as we enter the February lull in the election cycle. The next vote won't be cast until 2 weeks from now. Danielle Nottingham reports from the White House.
Rick Santorum greeted supporters in Tacoma, Washington as the leader in the GOP presidential race.
It's great to be in the real Washington.
Santorum tops a new CBS News New York Times poll of Republican primary voters nationwide. He's opened a small lead over Mitt Romney. The former Pennsylvania senator climbed to the top with the help of conservatives, Tea Partiers, and white evangelical voters. Among conservatives, he has a 14-point lead over Romney and is 26 points ahead of Newt Gingrich. With Gingrich losing 4 straight contests and some suggesting he drop out, Santorum is starting to see this as a two-man race with Romney. The former House Speaker says not so fast.
That's exactly what I said when I suggested that Rick ought to drop out weeks ago, and he decided that wasn't a good idea, and he was right.
There is a note of caution in the latest poll numbers. 60% of those surveyed say it's too early to decide who they will support.
Arizona and Michigan hold the next contests. In Arizona on Monday, Romney touted his immigration record as governor of Massachusetts.
We made sure that we enforced immigration laws by empowering our state police to have the capacity to work with ICE to get those who are here illegally out of our state.
Michigan is shaping up as a close race between Romney and Santorum. Santorum is leading polls there, but Michigan is where Romney grew up and his father served as governor. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, the White House.
While fans paid tribute to Whitney Houston in her hometown of Newark, New Jersey, funeral arrangements have been announced for the legendary pop singer. Allison Harmelin has the latest from Newark.
Whitney Houston's funeral will be held Saturday in the church in Newark, New Jersey, where she was first discovered. A family spokesman says the service will be private and personal. No wake or public memorial is planned.
They have shared her for 30-some years with the city, with the state, with the world. This is their time now.
Fans of the singer have been streaming past the church and the funeral home where her body was brought Monday night.
And I've always said to myself, I want to be just like her, and I just want her to rest.
Houston sang here as a child at New Hope Baptist Church. Her mother, Sissy, led the music program, and her cousin, Dionne Warwick, was also in the choir. Houston was one of the world's best-selling artists until she started using drugs and alcohol. The 48-year-old pop sensation was found dead Saturday underwater in the bathtub of a Beverly Hills hotel. Some prescription drugs were found in the room, but police say no more than most people have at home. Investigators are waiting for toxicology tests before discussing the cause of death. Houston's godmother, Aretha Franklin, honored the singer with a special concert in Charlotte. She sang one of Houston's biggest hits and asked the crowd to pray for the family. Allison Harmelin for CBS News, Newark, New Jersey.
The man poised to become China's next president met with President Obama and several top administration officials Tuesday. Both countries praised the strength of their relationship, but U.S. officials also gently confronted the Chinese leader about A-list concerns. Danielle Nottingham reports from the White House.
As you can see by the cabinet. He's not the president of China yet, but Xi Jinping got the presidential treatment in Washington. His carefully scripted visit included meetings with President Obama, Vice President Biden, and Secretary of State Clinton. All of them struck a very polite tone in front of the cameras.
This bilateral relationship is among the most important in the world.
I hope my visit will be a visit to strengthen consensus.
Xi is China's vice president. Later this year, he'll take the top position in China's Communist Party, and by next year, he's expected to become president.
But the handshakes and friendly promises hide some deep divisions between the two countries on several major issues.
At the top of that list, trade. President Obama brought it up in part to appear strong on the issue as he runs for re-election.
So we want to work with China to make sure that everybody is working by the same rules of the road when it comes to the world economic system.
But he sounded tougher last month during his State of the Union address.
We've brought trade cases against China at nearly twice the rate as the last administration, and it's made a difference.
Xi's visit to the U.S. is not likely to lead to any major policy changes. He said he hopes.
And that'll wrap things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, you can tune in to Trojan Vision Global News right after the nightly news. Now back to you, Bailey.
Thanks so much, Judson. And now Danielle Percival will join us for sports. So Danielle, a former Troy Trojan has really started to make a name for himself on a national level.
Well, that's right. Of course, we are talking about Jarrell Jernigan, but he's not the only success story. So let's get into a little bit of softball news first. The Trojan softball team saw a hot start to the season, bringing home a 5-0 record and the Southeastern Louisiana Lion Classic title. But that wasn't the only award the Trojans saw this past weekend. The Sun Belt Conference gave a little love to true freshman Ashley Rainey as she was named the Sun Belt Pitcher of the Week. Rainey picked up 2 wins on the weekend while striking out 15 and only giving up 1 extra base hit. She posted a 4-hit shutout in her first collegiate game against Jackson State and followed that up with another shutout the following day against Nicholls State. The Trojans' next action will be at home this weekend when they take on number 5 Missouri as part of the Quality Inn Classic at the Trojan softball complex. And while the softball team is just getting started, the men's basketball team is close to wrapping up their season. The men won Saturday night against Western Kentucky, marking the first time they had ever swept the Hilltoppers in a season. The first game against Western in Bowling Green was a nail-biter as Tim Owens hit the game-winning shot in the final seconds. The Hilltoppers were up 6 heading into halftime in that game and were up by 9 this time around. But strong second-half runs by the Trojans led to victories in both games. And assistant coach Ben Fletcher said the message to the team was to keep fighting.
They may go up 11 or 12. Don't panic. Just keep sticking to what we're doing, and we'll eventually make shots. And that's basically what happened. They went on a cold streak there, and our guys did a great job of rebounding the basketball tonight, I thought, too. And that was a big key for us.
The Trojans return to action Thursday night when they travel to Jonesboro to take on Arkansas State. Tip-off Thursday is set for 7 o'clock. And of course, it's Valentine's Day. And while Jarrell Jernigan may not be America's sweetheart, he's certainly a player Trojan fans came to love over his career at Troy. And even now, they are celebrating with him as he has moved on to even greater accomplishments. For some players, success just seems to come natural. Jarrell Jernigan holds the school record at Troy for most receptions and yards during a career and the most all-purpose yards with over 5,900. During his time with the Trojans, the team won the conference championship each year. So how do you follow that up as a rookie in the NFL?
Winning the Super Bowl.
Jernigan and the New York Giants beat the New England Patriots to win Super Bowl 46. But just a year ago, thoughts of the Super Bowl were just a dream for this rookie.
I mean, that's everybody's dreams to make it to the Super Bowl, but it's like one of those dreams where it's 32 teams, and you know 31 teams not, well, 30 teams not going to be there, so you like, it's a slim chance, you know, and you dream about it, but you know, like especially your first year, you're like, I probably won't be there my first year, but I'm going to give it a try and see. And for me to actually be there and actually win it, that's big.
Those Super Bowl dreams came true for Jernigan, and he wasn't just a member on the team. He was an active part right at the beginning of the game.
I was actually the first one to touch the ball in the beginning of the game on the kickoff return. And when the ball was in the air, all I seen was blue flashes everywhere. I'm like, okay, just pay attention to the ball, to the ball, to the ball. So when I finally tracked in the air, I was like, okay, there it is right there. So I was good.
While not every player can have the same success story as Jernigan, he did offer some advice for players on the rise.
Keep fighting. Like my freshman year here, we had an okay year, not a great year, and then we just kept believing and worked hard in the offseason. And now look at me now, got 4 rings here, then went to Super Bowl my first year and got a ring.
And of course, again, congratulations to Jarrell, and it's great to see him making a name for himself and having that success and bringing the recognition back to Troy University as well.
Absolutely. We're all proud of him, and we can't wait to see what he brings to us in the future.
That's right. Best of luck to him in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks, Danielle. Thanks.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, Aaron Taylor talks about an author that recently published their book.
But first, we've seen a little bit of rain over the past few days. Can we expect rain in the upcoming forecast? Bree?
We have been experiencing some rain, but you may be able to put away that rain gear over the next few days. I'll have more coming up in weather.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, You're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Bree Sanders joins us for a look at weather.
Well, Bree, it's been kind of consistently cloudy the last couple days, and it's been getting a little bit colder too. I think the question that everyone has is the weather going to get probably warmer before the weekend?
Well, we have had those gloomy and cooler conditions over the past few days, but they may be subject to change very soon. I'll get more into that in just a moment, though. First, let's take a look at our campus snapshot. Right now on campus, we see that it's very cloudy outside, though, but still no rain. So whether you're headed to class or headed home from work, you might want to just grab a light jacket just to keep warm. Current conditions right now, we have cloudy skies, temperatures at 54 degrees, dew points at 49 degrees, humidity is at 83%, barometers at 30.01 inches and rising. Winds are coming in from the north-northeast at about 4 miles per hour. Today's stats, we had a high today of 61, a low of 38. There was about 0.51 inches of rain. The sun rises at 6:26 a.m. and it should set at 5:30 p.m. Looking at our temperatures around the state, overall the state is experiencing about some mid-50-degree temperatures. Mobile coming in with a high at 65 here. Huntsville coming in at 48, Birmingham at 50, as well as Montgomery at 50. Troy at 54, Phoenix City at 55, as well as Dothan at 55. Looking at our temperatures around the southeast in our area, we're experiencing some lower 50-degree temperatures, but as we move throughout the rest of the southeast, those temperatures increase just a little bit into about the mid-50s here in the Carolinas. Florida in the mid-70s, as well as certain parts of Texas in the mid-70s, a lot warmer than what we've been looking at lately. Looking at our temperatures around the United States, here on the West Coast, they're experiencing some mid-50-degree temperatures just like we are. But as we move throughout the Midwest, those temperatures decrease significantly into about the mid-30s. Current surface map here, they have a few high and low pressure systems, a little bit of rain, and maybe even a little bit of snow in their area. Taking a closer look at our area, nothing too much going on here, but we do have a few low pressure systems and this cold front that maybe came through last night, possibly bringing in that rain that we experienced today. Precipitation forecast over the next 48 hours in our area. It looks like the southeast as a whole will be covered in rain. In our area, we might have about half an inch to an inch of rain or so, so you might want to take that rain gear and use it over the next few days. Tomorrow morning, it will be rather cool outside, but nothing too much going on. No rain, light winds. Moving into later on tomorrow, we still shouldn't have any rain in our area, but as we move into Thursday and Friday, we see that rain pushes over our area and covers the southern part of the states, but Saturday that rain comes back into our area, so you may want to grab that rain gear for the weekend as well. For tonight's forecast, we have partly to mostly cloudy skies, light winds coming in from the northeast at about 4 miles per hour with a low of 43, so much like last night, it'll be cool, but without rain. For tomorrow's forecast, we have cloudy skies early, partly cloudy later on in the day, winds coming in from the south-southeast from 5 to 10 miles per hour with a high of 72. So it will be very warm tomorrow, but it will be almost picture perfect with no rain. Class outlook for tomorrow, about 7 a.m. It should be about 45 degrees, and as we move throughout the rest of the day, that high gets to right at 71 around 3 p.m., so you can enjoy your day for tomorrow. Taking a look at our 4-day forecast. For tomorrow, that high gets to 72 with a low of 59. Thursday, that high remains in the 70s, right at 70 degrees for the high, low of 47. We have about an 80% chance of thunderstorms there. Friday, that high gets to 68. Still a little warm in our area, but a little bit cloudy, no rain. As we move into Saturday, that high gets to 62. We will have about an 80% chance of rain or so there, so you might want to grab that rain gear with you just to stay dry. So, Judson, we have had those overcast skies, very cool temperatures, but it looks like for the next few days, those temperatures will reach back into the mid to lower 70s. So we have the warmer temperatures coming back in, but ironically, we also have rain coming in. So
okay, yeah. A little bit of both, but at least Friday looks like it'll be pretty clear, so that's good. All right, well, thanks a lot, Bree.
You're welcome.